Talking this morning, we are always trying to incorporate healthy things in our recipes. Kale is extremely healthy. Usually we can only get Joe to try kale when it's in a smoothie and he doesn't actually know that it's in there.
Yeah.
So Lucy, we're gonna have to just mainly focus on maybe the meatballs and stuff in this and not tell Joe about the kale so he can have this too.
Yeah, this is a great soup because, you know, once you mix all these vegetables in, you know, you're not thinking, oh, I'm eating vegetables.
Yeah.
It's just a delicious soup, and kale is definitely one of those superfoods that really blew up a couple years ago, and it's still kind of hot and heavy out there. Everybody's still using it in smoothies and doing different things with it.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd put it in our soup today, and you could also substitute really any green, spinach, you know, turnip greens, collard greens, anything that you want, but kale is really good and readily available right there in the produce department at any of your Greers.
And that's good too, because a lot of people do use turnips and that kind of stuff. A lot of people have them in their garden too, and so you could substitute that with that.
Definitely. So what we're going to do is get started on our soup, and then we'll kind of get started on our meatballs. I just have a big pot here, and I just put 2 teaspoons of olive oil in here, and I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit over medium-high heat. And already I have 1 cup of celery, carrot, and onion, 1 cup of each, just chopped up. So I'm going to add that in here. And we're going to cook these vegetables for about 10 minutes. Just until they have time to soften up, and while they're cooking, I'm just going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I usually use kosher salt, but I've been using a lot of sea salt lately.
I keep hitting the side of this pot. I'm
so
sorry.
Either of those is good. No, that's fine. So those, that salt will help those vegetables soften up. We didn't add a lot of oil to that, just a couple teaspoons, and that's going to be plenty. So now we are going to get started on our meatballs. And in this bowl, I have 1 pound of ground turkey already. And I'm just using that. The flavor of the turkey goes great with this soup, but if you wanted to use ground beef, you could certainly do that.
You've been using turkey a lot in your recipes.
I know,
lately.
I just really like it.
I do too.
And you know, it's just like I said before, right there in the meat department, and it's 1 pound exactly, and it's just so easy. So we're going to use that today, and I'm going to add to that 1 egg, 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese.
See, we'll just tell Joe it's all Parmesan cheese in there.
Yeah.
Be like, that green stuff that you see, that's actually Parmesan cheese, a new type of it.
3 green onions I just sliced thinly, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then just a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. And actually, if you wanted to make this just a vegetarian soup, then just don't make the meatballs and just make everything else, and it'll be just as great. So now I'm going to mix this up, and I have a little cookie sheet over here where I'm going to roll the meatballs and put them. So this is a really good time to make the meatballs while your vegetables are cooking, because like I said, those are going to cook for about 10 minutes, and that's just the perfect time to get this all mixed up. And you can make any size that you want, but I like little ones, and so if you make little ones about 1/2 ounce or so big, then you get about 36 meatballs out of this. And this is a big pot of soup, so it'll feed, you know, 6 people really easily.
Well, this soup sounds great. I can't wait to try it. Again, we're going to continue to work on our meatballs. Joe will be back in here. Don't tell him about the working on our meatball soup. Joe will be back in here, and I'm sure he'll be excited to try it too, right, Joe?
Did I hear Parmesan cheese?
Yeah, that's all. That's it. Parmesan cheese and meatballs.
Ooh, it sounds